Hey everyone, welcome back to InfoX Lab channel. Have you ever looked at the calendar and thought, wait, is it really November already? It feels like just yesterday we were making New Year's resolutions. It's a common feeling, this sense that time is slipping through our fingers faster and faster the older we get. When we were kids, a summer vacation felt like an entire lifetime. Now, a whole year can fly by in what feels like a blink. So, what's going on here? Is time actually speeding up? Well, not exactly. The clock is ticking at the same steady pace it always has. The real change is happening inside our own minds. Today, we're going to dive deep into the fascinating psychology and neuroscience behind why time seems to accelerate as we age. It's a journey into how our brains perceive, process, and remember our lives. Let's start with what scientists call the proportional theory. It's a pretty straightforward idea. When you're 5 years old, 1 year is a whopping 20% of your entire life. That's a huge chunk of your existence. So naturally, it feels incredibly long. But when you're 50, 1 year is just 2% of your life. It's a much smaller fraction of your total experience. Think of it like this. If you have a pizza with only 5 slices and you eat one, that's a significant portion of your meal. But if you have a pizza with 50 slices, eating one slice feels almost insignificant. Each year of our life is like one of those slices. As the total number of slices grows, the relative size of each new slice shrinks, making it feel less substantial and quicker to pass. This mathematical perspective gives us a solid, logical foundation for understanding this phenomenon, but it's only part of the story. The next big piece of the puzzle is novelty. Our brains are hardwired to pay extra attention to new experiences. When we encounter something for the first time, our first day of school, our first kiss, our first time driving a car, our brain goes into high-definition recording mode. It captures every detail, every sensation, every emotion. This rich, detailed information takes up a lot of mental storage space, which in turn makes the memory feel longer and more significant. As kids, almost everything is new. Every day is an adventure filled with firsts. We're constantly learning, exploring, and being surprised. This constant stream of novel information forces our brains to work hard, encoding dense, detailed memories that stretch out our perception of time. But what happens as we get older? Life tends to fall into routines. We wake up, go to work, come home, watch TV, and go to bed. The commute becomes automatic. The weekly grocery run is a blur. Our brains, being incredibly efficient, recognize these familiar patterns. They don't need to record every single detail of your drive to work because you've done it 1,000 times before. Instead, it chunks these routine experiences together. Your brain essentially says, another Tuesday, got it. It creates a mental shortcut. The result? The memories for these routine periods are less detailed and less vivid. When we look back, entire weeks or months of repetitive activity can feel like they've been compressed into a single, brief memory. This compression is a major reason why time feels like it's flying by. We're not creating the rich, novel memories that made our childhoods feel so expansive. This ties in to how our brains process information. Researchers believe that the speed at which our brain processes visual information slows down as we age. A study led by Duke University professor Adrian Bejan found that as the neural pathways in our brains become more complex and also start to degrade slightly over time, the rate at which we process new mental images decreases. Younger minds can process more frames per second, so to speak. They perceive more individual moments within the same objective period of time. This makes their experience of time feel denser and slower. As we age and our processing speed declines, we perceive fewer frames in that same period. The world seems to whiz by faster because our brains are literally capturing less of it in real time. It's like watching a movie at a normal frame rate versus watching it in fast forward. The content is the same, but the perception of its duration changes dramatically. Another fascinating theory revolves around our biological clock, specifically the neurotransmitter dopamine. Dopamine is crucial for our internal timekeeping. It helps us estimate durations. Studies have shown that our dopamine levels tend to decline as we age. This decline can mess with our internal clock, causing us to underestimate time intervals. For example, if you ask a younger person and an older person to close their eyes and tell you when they think a minute has passed, the older person is more likely to let more time go by before they say stop. Their internal clock is running a bit slower, which makes the external world seem to be moving faster in comparison. So, it's not just our perception of past memories, but our real-time experience of duration that changes. So, if routine and a slowing brain are the culprits, is there anything we can do to slow down time? The answer is a resounding yes. The key is to break out of your routine and actively seek out novelty. It's about re-engaging your brain's high-definition recording mode. You don't have to quit your job and travel the world, though that would certainly work. The changes can be small. Try taking a different route to work. Visit a new coffee shop. Pick up a new hobby you've always been curious about, like learning to play the guitar, painting, or coding. Travel to a new place, even if it's just a nearby town you've never explored. These new experiences force your brain to wake up and pay attention. They create the kind of rich, detailed memories that stretch out our perception of time. Mindfulness is another powerful tool. Instead of letting your mind wander on autopilot during your daily activities, try to be fully present. When you're eating your lunch, really taste the food. When you're walking outside, notice the feeling of the breeze on your skin and the sounds of the birds. This practice of paying close attention to the present moment helps to create more distinct and memorable experiences, even within a routine. It prevents your brain from lumping days together into a monotonous blur. It's about finding the novelty in the familiar, which is a skill that can be developed over time. By being more mindful, you are essentially creating more of those frames per second for your brain to process, making each moment feel fuller and more substantial. Think about it. The most memorable years of our lives are often the ones filled with change and significant life events. Graduating, starting a new career, getting married, having children. These are periods of intense learning and adaptation. They break the mold of our routine lives. The more we can sprinkle these kinds of novel, attention-grabbing experiences throughout our lives, the richer and longer our lives will feel in retrospect. The goal is to consciously build a life that is full of memorable firsts, even in our later years. It's about staying curious, continuing to learn, and challenging ourselves. This not only makes life more interesting, but also helps to slow down our subjective experience of time. So, the next time you feel like time is slipping away too quickly, take it as a sign. It might be your brain telling you that it's time to shake things up. It's a call to break the routine, learn something new, and be more present in the moment. The power to slow down time isn't in a science fiction machine. It's in the choices we make every day. By filling our lives with rich new experiences, we can stretch our perception of time and make every year feel as full and meaningful as those long golden summers of our childhood. Thanks so much for watching. What do you do to break up your routine and make time feel slower? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to read your ideas. And if you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of our minds. See you in the next one.